Yes, so hi guys. Today we're going to explore cache management in Flutter, focusing on how to handle data from APIs and images efficiently. Firstly, I apologize for my English. I will try to do my best. If at any point you not understand something, do not hesitate to stop me or ask me a question in French. So I will introduce myself. My name is Theo. I'm a French developer. I'm living in Montreal since almost 2 years, and I'm passionate about Flutter and development in general. I have something like 4 years as experience, and I mainly did web backend with PHP and Symfony. But I admit now that I much prefer the mobile. It's really addictive. So today I will cover several key subjects, starting with a brief introduction to Flutter for beginners. We'll explore the critical role of caching in modern app development, introduce Hive, the package, and discuss how to manage API calls, then explain the package cache network image. Our goal is to gain a comprehensive understanding of this concept by a demo at the end. So first, quick introduction to Flutter. Who is a beginner today? Yeah. Okay, so this slide is for you. Flutter is a framework created by Google. It is used for developing natively compiled application for mobile, web, and desktop from a single code base. So that's really useful. And it's based on Dart. Dart is an OOP language, also developed by Google. And Flutter has an active and growing community. The current stable version is 3.16.4, and Google makes regular updates. So let's go next. Importance of the cache. And finally, what's the cache? Cache represents a form of temporary storage on user devices. It's like a wall between your application and your database. It plays a crucial role in upgrading performance by storing frequently used data. This minimizes server requests, accelerate data retrieval. So it exists different kind of cache. You have the memory cache, you can use database. Also, I will explain how it works with database, so with the Hive package. And what's the benefits of data caching? Effective caching can transform app performance. It facilitates faster data access, reduce network bandwidth usage, user experience enhancement with immediate response to user interaction and shorter wait times for a smoother experience. And of course, it enables offline capability because you can use the application at this moment. So that's really useful. But you need to consider 2 things when you are using the cache. First is the invalidation, because sometimes the data will be obsolete. So you need to refresh this data depending on the type of the application. The other one would be the storage size, because of that, of course, cache take memory. So you need to care about that. If cache take too big part of your memory, you need to care about that. It exists different packages for cache data in Flutter. 3 of them are databases, and others not really. It exists Hive, shared preference, the most known. Firestore cache. This is not really a package, but it comes with it's a feature from Firestore. And you have SQLite if you need an SQL schema. Everything is fine at this moment? Yeah? Okay. Next. What, sorry? No, never. It's a good package? It's a package also? Yeah. It's no SQL or?
SQL.
Okay.
Yeah. Full SQL.
Okay, nice. So now a quick introduction to Hive. what is Hive? So Hive is a package for Flutter. Stand out in Flutter ecosystem as a lightweight yet powerful NoSQL database. It's designed for simplicity, speed, and efficiency. Supporting custom data types, it's really important. For example, with shared preference, you can pass a string, an integer, a bool, but you can custom your own objects. So that's a really nice feature of Hive. And offering a user-friendly approach to local storage. There is also a security concern, which provides an encryption feature to securely store sensitive data. We'll see after in the demo. So to initialize the package, we just need to put in the pubspec file and also run the method init_flutter before using. So next, what are boxes? Hive works with boxes. Boxes is really similar of an SQL table, but without the structure. So they can contain various data types and are ideal for both small and large-scale application. For a single app, you can use only one box, but for app more complex, you can use different types, different box for this type. And so you just need to call your method openBox with the name of the box. You can type also your box at the data type, maybe. That's not obliged. And when you call the method openBox, it loads the data from local storage to memory, and ensure quick and efficient data access. So we have different methods for making some requests with the box. We can write, read, and delete. We have two methods for writing on the box. We have the put method and the add method. Put is only with the key and the value, and add is only with the value. It's the same thing, but just add an index like 0, 1, 2, 3 as an array in the PHP, I don't know. It's the same thing, so you don't need to provide the key. The read method, you can get your data with read the key. If the data not exists, it will be null. And the delete for delete data on the key. As I said before, we can provide our own object to Hive. That's really useful. So we have a class we can extend. The name is Hive object. It works with Hive adapters. I will speak to them just after. So the Hive objects provide two methods. The name is save and delete. It's really useful when you need, for example, to update data. For example, for a name, we can add our person in Hive, and we just need after to call the save method on this object to save the data in Hive. And same thing for the delete method. We can just delete it. After, we have the adapters, so it works also with the objects. It's like a bridge between your database and your Dart objects. So you need to register your adapter at the initialization. And so your adapter is here. You need to type your objects. And it uses the process of serialization. So the read deserialize and the write serialize. You have also generator. So if you have many objects, it can be useful to generate all of these files, all of this adapter. So that's it.
Why is it reader.read?
Sorry?
On the person object, the read method, it says
Here, that was for the attributes, different attributes. We have two attributes here, and it works with index here, 0 and 1. So it takes 0 and 1 for building your object.
I understand.
Okay. Hive against competitors. Hive outperforms competitors in terms of reads. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Back to following your last question.
Yeah.
It doesn't use like name arguments. So what if you add a property? So you have name and age, and basically you want to add like I don't know, surname or last name, whatever, between the two. You
Yeah.
think that your stored data is corrupted because it's no longer able to.
I think yes. I don't have really the answer, but it really depends on the index just here on the Hive field. So it depends the position.
Yeah, but it could be bad because if you have
Yeah.
like two fields,
Yeah.
and you have this running in production, you have user with cache data with two attributes, and then you release a new version of your app with the third one. How, when the app is updated on the user's device, how does it read the cache?
There should be a database migration process, I assume, right?
Ah, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
This is more cache, so it's not going to stay. It's like maybe if there's an error, it won't go through the cache. It will grab the new data and just
Or it
push it
invalidates
inside.
the cache after.
Yeah, it's a cache, so it just don't have. It's not important.
Yeah, I think you don't need to worry about that because it's on local on your device. So. Yes. Next, so Hive against competitors. In terms of read, for example, 1000 read iteration, share preference and Hive are really similar, but SQLite perform much worse. And in the case of write iteration, Hive greatly outperform SQLite and share preference when it comes to writing or deleting. Hive is definitively one of the best packages to date for local data storage in Flutter. There is some other case, for example, with SQLite. If you really need an SQL schema, it can be useful to use SQLite, but the performance will not be really better than Hive. Next. Yeah.
So you say that we can use Hive as a database for storage,
Yeah.
only for cache.
Yeah. It's like a local storage. You can use like a database or for caching. I said just before, the caching, there is different strategy. So you can use local storage like database or directly in memory from Flutter. But so.
There's a NoSQL database essentially.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
Yes.
Yep.
So you still have the issue with the data migration if the schema has changed. If you use it as a local data storage.
Typically you do, yeah. Typically you would have to manage that.
So we make an example of API calls with Hive and store the response of the API. So how to cache data from an API? We'll take a simple case of a call for a weather API with the method, for example, fetch weather. The case is pretty simple. We take the API URL as the key, and we take the response as the value. We check if the value already exists in the cache, and if not exists, we make the call, and we return the data. So the approach now is really simple. But it's not so simple, because we need to care about fresh data. Just I said before, the cache invalidation, it's really important. There is some limit to this simplest approach. In the case of a weather app, we want to have fresh data. So we need to have a refresh mechanism, implement an expiration timestamp or duration to track the freshness of cache data. When fetching data, check if the cache has expired based on the defined expiration criteria. If the data is expired, make a new API call to obtain new data. Update the cache with the newly fetched data. I will illustrate quickly this. For example, we can imagine an object cache entry with data and expiration time, and we can have a method is expired. We try if the data the current date time is after the expiration time of the object. If yes, the data is expired. We need also to register our adapter here and to have our cache entry adapter just here, as seen before. If it's more complex and chances are high, you can use multiple boxes for better data organization. Now it's a simple case of a weather API, so we don't need multiple boxes. You can also define complex Dart classes to represent the structure of the API data you want to store. This class can have relationship between them, list, nested object, etc. Create separate adapters for each complex data class. Each adapter is responsible for the serialization and deserialization of data for its respective class. So I will illustrate all of this code in my demo after. Some question about that? No, it's okay. So next, here, that was the mechanism I said before. We try to take the cache data. If the data exists in the cache and it's not expired, we return the data, else we return none, and it will be the moment to call again the save data with the API call. I will show you after in the demo. Next, we'll speak about the image cache with cached network image. Because beyond JSON data, there is not only JSON data we want to store in the cache, there are also images. It's really important because images take lots of memory to load with the request, etc. So it's a significant portion of app contents. And in some scenario, many images are used across different screens of the app. So it's really important to care about the cache also for the images. So that's the moment for cached network image to be used. That's a Flutter package optimize the loading and performance of images, especially useful for images that are loaded frequently across different parts of the app. It works with another package. The name is Flutter Cache Manager, and so it manages storage and retrieval of files, operates in the app's cache directory for optimal performance. It's really simple to implement. You just need to add in your prospect file, and after call it like a widget. It's like a widget. It's like a image.network, but now it's cached network image. You need to provide your image URL, a placeholder, for example. It's really useful, or an error widget. And in some case, we can use a progress indicator builder to have our download progress from the network. So that's really simple. So there is also some advanced features like custom cache key or custom cache manager if you want to use another strategy for your cache. So next, so I will illustrate all of things I have on the demo. So I will switch here. So it's good. You can one time more. Okay. Here, it's good. Okay. So I will take the case of two small apps merged in one. So it is a weather API, weather application, and Gary application. So for the example, we will take a random weather API with just need to provide the city here, and the other one would be random pictures from Unsplash. Just like I said before, cache entry also with the cache entry adapter. Same system as I present just before with data and expiration time. Here the method is expired. We register our adapter here to make the bridge between Hive and the Dart objects. So I have my class also, cache manager, so only with Hive. I have a single box for this demo. The name is cachebox. I have my init method with the init Flutter. I register here my adapter, and I open my box. As I said before, it's possible to encrypt your data in the box if you need to care about security in some cases. So you just need to use a parameter, so the encryption cipher, and you need to provide an encryption key. So on my side, for this example, I'm using another package. The name is Flutter Secure Storage. So I just need to provide my encryption key, and all of my data in my box are encrypted. So I have made an abstract data manager with we can enable or disable the cache of the application. For start, I will disable it for making something. We'll see. And we have invalidation strategies at the start of time of 1 hour. It's by second, so 3,600 seconds. We have our gallery data manager with the method fetch images. So we try to retrieve images from the cache. If it's not in the cache, we call the API to take the data and save inside the cache. I voluntarily delayed to demonstrate a long execution query. I had 2 seconds. Same thing here in the weather manager. So that's it. I also used in my screen for the gallery screen cache network image just here. So if I made a new call and I clear the cache, for example, it will be useful to have cache network image after. And that's it. I will run my app. So I made Flutter run. Some question because it was launched the simulator, so we have 2 minutes.
Which directory do you use to save the database file?
What? Sorry?
Which directory? Which folder?
To save the database files, I think we can't with Hive provide the directory, the name of the directory, so it takes the directory of the application. Yeah, it takes the default one, I think. I'm not really sure what I...
The document directory of the app?
Yeah, yeah. So, it was correct finally. So, here we have our application. So, as I said before, weather here and gallery here. So, it's a little bit long. Peut-être dézoomer un peu. Okay. We have to like this. And we have also a stream for demonstrate the connectivity just here. So when it's disable, network enabled, now network disabled, it will be useful for demonstration. And we have the clear cache Yeah, because the time. Okay, macro.gdg, good. We refresh, okay. Okay, network enabled. We have the data, we have the weather of Paris, everything is fine. Remind, we have disabled the cache, so now there is no cache in the application. So so before, when I disable my Wi-Fi and I launch my application, so I have no data, not working. So it's not really good for the user experience without connectivity or when it's difficult. So now I will show you when I enable the cache. Okay. It's a little bit long, sorry. Okay, I can reload my application. Okay, so as we can see, we have the weather of Paris. We have our images loads here. It's good. And now, if I disable the Wi-Fi, so the network is disabled, I can reload my application and I have all of my data, but the network is disabled. Just here we have some error with cached network image because I don't let the time to load of the images. I reload the application before, with no network. So I reload. As you can see, I have made a little print. So weather data and Gary data are cached. So we store the data during 1 hour. So during 1 hour, we have all our data. For example, as I said before, we store the data here. So we put the API URL as the key. So I have a URL for Paris. If I change it and I put, for example, Montreal, it will reload. The weather screen, Paris, Montreal, and you will see it's not in the cache, so it will take some time. Yeah, here we are loading, so it's not from the cache, so it takes some time, and it works. Now it's cached, so if I reload my application, the data is inside, so it's instantaneously. If I clear the cache here, as we said, we need to wait to the API call with made. I can show also an example of the time expiration. Here I have put 1 hour, but we can put, I don't know, 10 seconds. So when I reload, so now the data is in the cache, as we can see. Here, I just need to clear before, refresh, okay. So data is not in the cache, we refresh, now it's in the cache. That's really nice. Here it loads. It's in the cache. Now 10 seconds have passed, so we made another call to the API. That's it. I don't know if you have some question. Yeah.
So you're saving the URL as the
Key.
Yeah. To what you're caching, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you try to ping that URL.
Yeah, that's the reason, because when I have changed the city, because that was a query parameter, the city for the weather API. When I have changed Montreal from Paris, it has been another request, because that was not the same key. So the data is not cached. So we need to make another request, but just after the data is cached. So if after I want to return on Paris, the data will be cached for Paris and for Montreal, and any city I want to use. Yes?
What happens with the duration when the app is killed? Is the cache automatically cleared?
Yeah. In this case, yeah, but you can, for example, store also this duration in Hive, for example, to have inside the database. For when the app is killed, you also have your expiration time in the database.
And if storage space is a concern, what's your option? Because
Yeah.
you mentioned it at
Yeah, I know. For example, you can, there is no limit on Hive to put, for example, take only 5 mega, not more. But you can query all of your data and know the size of your data inside. And you can manage it like that. It's difficult to explain, sorry. There is no limitation from Hive, but you can control by your own care of what type of request you made, etc. So.
Question. So you showed the adapter.
Yeah.
That basically reads and writes the object. So is that code generated or is that written?
No, I have not used the generator here because that was only for one object, the cache entry, so it's not necessary. But for to generate, you just need to add here in the pub spec the dependency. I think it's hive underscore generator, and make the command, Flutter run build runner or something like that, and it will be generate. It works with annotation here, so it will generate the adapter automatically. If you have a complex objects, etc., it will be really useful to use that.
Yeah, right. Because if the object is indeed pretty big and it's written by hand, it's quite
Yeah. Okay, so have you got some question about the talks? I know it's an approach really simple, but that was an idea for if you want to make cache with Flutter, you can just use local storage and database like Hive. Yes.
How does it scale if you have, I don't know, dozens of requests, dozens of different entities you have to cache? You have to write the caching logic every time? Is there a package out there to like abstract?
Honestly, I don't really know, but Hive, I think it's really utilized for different kind of types, and it's one of the best package for making a scalable application. So I think so. I hope.
I make a comment on this because we ran into this issue. We have a lot of data that we're caching, a really big amount of data. So there was a point where, since we are watching, we're using Drift, which is SQL, and we're watching for changes in the database. So when there's something that changes, send a notification. There's a lot of too many notifications coming out, and these use streams, and the streams eventually they can slow down a little bit the data. So it's not a problem. Like, we found a way around it, and you just have to be really careful in how you read and write from the database. It does scale at huge amounts.
I can add on that as well, actually. If you guys are familiar with room architecture in Android, I think actually you can do the same thing. So you save everything in the database, and then using the string, you can get the changes
yeah.
Yeah, and then you can even have a background service that, updating the database so that
Yeah.
even the application is killed, you can still update it.
So we don't make queries directly to the API. We always read from cache. So the cache is updated on some sort of a loop automatically, and we always read from cache. That's the approach that we use now.
Kind of the offline first approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
There is more question?
Thank you.
No? Okay. So, thank you guys. If you want to scan the code source, you can. It's really simple. So, if you want to see the code of the demo. So.